I've been saying for a while now that far from SEO being dead, we're heading into a new golden era where Google is better at surfacing true businesses, whether that's ecom, services, there's a whole range of options there, while diminishing a lot of the third parties that have been crowding the search results for so long. Now, this is really unfortunate for those of us who have been trying to do affiliate and banner ads, things like that, but this is great news for anyone who actually owns a product. Now, in my case, I'm testing this out. I found a coffee dropshipper called Dripshipper. They've got mixed reviews, so I'm not too sure how good they are for actually providing the coffee. But what I'm trying to do here is basically make Google think I'm a proper coffee brand, and then that should give me some more leeway in terms of ranking posts. But in the meantime, it's actually a great example of how to actually get these products ranking, how to do true ecom SEO, because it's a wide open opportunity. Whereas it used to be that you used to be able to go into search results and you'd see a mix of long-form blog posts and ecom products that were ranking for that keyword. Now it seems like ecom products have had a massive advantage. So you basically got two choices there. You can either complain and weep and say, Google is broken, doesn't work anymore, and we've been destroyed. Many of us have been destroyed. I count myself as part of that audience. But what you've also got to remember is loads of people who have come up now, not just Reddit and all the parasite stuff. If you forget about Reddit, for actual e-commerce search terms with that search intent of I want to buy something, ecom brands have had a big boost. So in my last video, I went through and showed a wide example of different industries, from equipment rental to home services to coffee e-commerce. A load of other examples where all these websites are absolutely fine. They're not suffering from penalties. They're not suffering with the rise of generative search. If anything, an AI overview from Google is just going to point in the direction of your website if it's optimized in the right way. Part of that is through brand mentions. So I've said for a long time that why would a future generative search be any different to Google's algorithm of content and backlinks that has worked for 20 plus years? Google's basically relying on getting these mentions from other websites as votes of confidence in this brand, why this brand should rank. Therefore, the more good recommendations you've got, the higher you should rank. That makes perfect sense. Why is generative search going to be any different? And early tests are showing if you can get your brand mentions out there, so this coffee provider is the best Colombian coffee, and get that repeated in all your guest posts around the internet, then that will have an impact on generative search as well as pushing you up the organic rankings. So I'd really double down on brand right now. It's been a bit of a cop-out for people for a long time in the industry saying just build a brand. But it's true, if you can get all these guest posts out there mentioning your brand, linking back to you, then you're signaling to Google that you're this real entity that people are searching for. I'm even going into CTR manipulation tools and basically driving a large volume of searches and clicks to my brands, to my clients' brands, because if Google can see that 50 people a month are searching for this product, this brand, then that must be legit. It must be a real business. Let's put their website higher up. But enough ranting. I'm importing products into my ecom store. Again, I don't really actually want to build an ecom store. It's more a case of, am I able to rank these products, and am I therefore able to rank other posts as well on this same website because I'm validated as an ecom store? So to do that, I'm using Dripshipper. Now, there's been mixed reviews around Dripshipper, people saying, I have noticed that as soon as you sign up, you get sold a load of other services, like we'll build your Shopify store for you, we'll design your logo for you. Now, they came back yesterday saying my logo was too similar to another logo. I think that's because they have a logo service that's $60. So for now, I've just added another one. And while that gets reviewed, we should be able to get back to importing products. Now, I'm trying to rank for Colombia coffee because Colombian coffee, it's got around 8,000 searches per month. And in this case, there's a website at position 3. They've got the exact match domain, colombia.us. Now, again, if you go onto SEO Twitter, everyone will tell you exact match domains don't work anymore. I suggest those people actually look at a search result. Now, if we actually go to have a look at this website, we can see it's got a domain rating of just 8. So 179 referring domains. If we go on to these 762 backlinks, then we can quickly find out how many of these backlinks are actually any good. So in my agency, we only build links with a minimum DR of 30, a minimum traffic of 1,000, a load of other quality checks as well. Now, as part of that, we'll write these guest posts, but we'll write them as PR-style guest posts, as if a journalist were writing it. And the point of that is to get that semantic matching in there that says this brand provides the best Colombian coffee, because that's training the data for the AI overview, for the generative search, so that when someone says, what's the best Colombian coffee, it knows, based on all this training data, all the guest posts that we've written and built, it knows that this brand is the best Colombian coffee. Anyway, in this case, for this particular example, this site has only got 2 high-quality backlinks pointing at it, a DR59 and a DR60, so this is not a competitive search at all. In my agency, we typically average around DR55 per link, and the traffic is normally around 10 to 15,000. So for this reason, I want to try and rank for Colombian coffee. Let's see how we get on. How hard can it be? So one thing I do like about Dripshipper, like I say, I've got no idea what their back-end processes look like, but I like the fact you can just go in and instantly import the coffee you want. So right now I'm looking for Colombian. There we are, Colombia coffee. That says it's already imported. Okay, my mistake, there it is. So we have this e-commerce product, and what Dripshipper has done is just import those basic details about the product. Now, this is the mistake that most people make with e-commerce SEO. It's thinking, right, I've got my products on the page. That's it. Why aren't I getting traffic from Google? And again, it's like I always say, Google is just a machine. It can't really detect that much about your product unless you give it that information. So if we have a look at Colombian Coffee and what they're doing, lots of people think an e-com site is just about having loads of products. So you look at the homepage and yeah, you just see loads of products there. I don't need to add any content, except if you scroll further down the homepage, then we start to get more information. So highest quality Colombian coffee. Colombian coffee is some of the best, most flavorful coffee in the world. And so as we go down, we just see there's more and more content. So if we just do a basic keyword search to see how many times they've used the term Colombian coffee, we can see 27 uses on the page, much of which is in this rich content at the bottom. And this is why I'm always saying to e-com store owners that you still want this long form detailed content on your page, whether it's the home page, the category page, the product page. Google is still just a machine. It's still looking at keywords on the page for relevance. You could have all the backlinks you wanted, but if you don't have those keywords on the page, then Google's still going to struggle to rank you. Now, just to hammer that point home about how e-com SEO is still basically content and backlinks, there's a little bit of structured data and technicals in there as well, but they represent probably less than 10% of the overall factor, which remains content and backlinks. So that's what we did with this site, this client in the adult niche. They were cruising along at around 800 visitors a month or so, and started with us in August. And now you can see they're up to 7,500 visitors per month. That's through content on the product pages, content on the category pages, and building high quality backlinks to those category pages. Plus, we also then did a load of sort of affiliate style blog posts, so best X for Y type keywords, but not promoting affiliate products, promoting their own products. And like I keep saying, it's those pages that are really ranking well, delivering lots of traffic, because there's so many more searches for best X or best X for Y, as opposed to just searching for a single ecom product. So it's those best X for Y type articles that have been really hammered across the SEO spectrum from affiliates and publishers. And instead, we've got the likes of Forbes and Good Housekeeping now ranking for them with their immense backlink profiles. But for a small ecom brand, you can still rank for those terms and just promote your own products in there. The aim with the coffee case study is, can I do the same thing, but actually put affiliate products in there? I really like the sound of having a few pages of ecom products for coffee, and then ranking a load of articles for best coffee machines and high-ticket coffee products like that, where I don't have to deal anything with the inventory. So let's dive a little deeper. I've taken that colombiancoffee.us website, just the homepage, and put it into Surfer to generate an audit on the basis of how well optimized it is for the keyword Colombian coffee. And as we saw, it features in there 27 times. Arguably, it uses that too many times. This is saying to remove a lot of those. But fundamentally, we can see the content score is 79, and that's actually really high. The vast majority of businesses I audit do not have a content score that high, normally in the 30s and 40s, quite often in the 20s. So you can see how content has been a massive impact here, where number 2, number 3, number 4 downwards, you can see they're around 64, 62, 65, 57, and yet Colombian Coffee at number 1, they've got 79. So they have exact match keyword-rich domain, extremely high content score, and if we scroll down here, we can see how they've done it. So they've included all of these suggestions, all good, coffee bean, flavorful coffee, authentic taste, French press. So this is a correlational tool that basically looks at what Google is really rewarding right now, and therefore what you should be doing in order to rank for that keyword. So if anything, it looks like we might have too many words, but it seems to be working really well in this case. So overall, really well optimized page. But what is this to us? How am I actually going to use this data to try and rank my page? Now, I'm at a natural disadvantage because I'm not trying to rank the home page. I'm trying to rank an inner page because I don't have the exact match domain. I'm using an expired domain, and I'm trying to feature a wide range of coffees. So I also want to rank for Mexican coffee. So we need to use an inner page silo structure in order to do that. So what I've done is I've generated a content editor using Surfer, and that basically gives us all those best requirements that we know we need to include. Now, I ignore the copy all button because it removes the frequency to use each keyword. So what I do is I tend to copy all that. I take note of how many words we actually need, 1,500 words. So that's quite a lot. So I'm going to go to ChatGPT and say, start writing a long form e-commerce product description. This needs to be 1,500 words. So I will tell you to keep writing after you have written the start. Use the following entities, the number of times indicated after slash, and then I just paste in all those Surfer entities. Meanwhile, I'm going to go back to the product and actually grab more data about the product to include. Include the following data about my product. I'm also going to include my shop name. So my Ecom store name is, I'm going to hide this for, if you want to get more details about this particular case study, I'm not going to reveal the expired domain on. So just go to SEOJesus.com and click on the Ranking Revelations newsletter. I'm hoping as this case study goes on, I'll be able to drop a bit more information to my email list. So the sign up is absolutely free. And then in the welcome email, you get a load of free resources that I've collected over the last few months. GPT prompts, Parasite SEO sources, all kinds of little hints and tricks. Okay, ChatGPT was actually able to do 1,200 words just with a single prompt. So I actually think I'm happy with that. Now, we can see it's fulfilled a lot of the criteria, but not all of them. That's normal. We've got a content score of 49, which is actually pretty good. If we look at the competitors, like I say, SEO is still in this wide open opportunity where most brands, most e-com stores just don't know what they're doing. So we can see these content scores of 34, 41, 62, 45, 45. So we're kind of already in line with the average. We can see the average here is 62. That's been inflated by that one at the top being so good, but generally most of them are not that good. In fact, we haven't even done the H2s yet, so I need to go through and add in these H2s. So sometimes ChatGPT will do this out of the box. You can ask it to use HTML headings, and that will save you some time when it decides to cooperate. Okay, so we've now got a content score of 57, but we can get that up even more. Surfer's got this new auto-optimize feature, and that costs you. What I prefer to do is click this button over here, and it's got this clever little hidden feature called Just Insert Terms, and that's free. And that means Surfer will go through and try and add in as many of these as it can. And now that's taken us up to a score of 62. So not a huge improvement, but pretty good going. So we're in line with the average now. We should be able to get that up a bit higher. If we go to outline, then Surfer actually scrapes the people also ask snippet for further FAQs about that product. So I can go back to ChatGPT and say, answer the following with a paragraph for each. That's completed. Now I can just copy those. And now we can paste that into the template. That's taken us up to 69. Now we can go and insert terms again. Meanwhile, I'll turn these into headings. Okay, so with that second round of insert terms running over those FAQs we've added, we've now got up to 75. So I'll just accept all of those and save that. So we're really close to the top now. I'm happy with that. Even the creators of Surfer say, once you get to around 70, 80, just move on to your next keyword. Don't get bogged down trying to push it up to 90, 100. You probably won't even get there. As we've seen, the top result, the number one result, has a score of 80. So there probably isn't even the data to get above 80. Now my temptation here was just to dump this content on the product page as the product description. But I think there might be a limitation there where it really depends on the keyword, depends on the niche. Should this go on the category page or should it go on the product page? Either way, we want both of those to be optimized. Obviously, what we don't want to do is optimize both the category and the product page for the same keyword. So the way to establish that is just to see what's already ranking. I always say most of SEO is just about correlation. So we can see Volcanica has got a collections category page. Obviously, Amazon is the category page. Here we have a product page ranking. So product/Don Pablo Colombian Supremo coffee. So we can have a look at what's ranking here. So this is just a single product page. So we should be okay just using it as a product description. This is a single product page as well. So that's great news for us. We can see 2 product pages on page 1, and then we have 2 home pages. So I would say on that basis, there isn't a clear preference for either of them. Now, I've only got 1 Colombian coffee product at this stage. So I think for now, let's go with optimizing the product itself, and we should be okay. But most things with SEO are reversible. If you wanted to mess around with other products, other categories, then you can always change that content around. Now, I'd already noticed on my site that we had the short description and the long description with the same text imported from Dripshipper. That's a bit repetitive, so I wanted to get rid of that anyway. And now we can just post our long form content in here. Now, of course, WooCommerce and WordPress is already supporting the headings we've given, so now we can just update that. So now suddenly we've gone from this really basic Ecom page where all the formatting is there, but no actual content. And now we have all this content on there, plus related products at the bottom. That's helping with internal linking. So I think that's enough for this video. That's a really strong start. So next up, we need to look at indexing and backlinks as well. Those people don't build backlinks, just use topical authority, just publish more pages. I want to get ahead faster. I want to find out if this is actually going somewhere. So to speed up results, I'm going to look at how I can get maximum power into this page. We're already using an expired domain. It's got a domain rating of 29. I've had some content on it for a while now, so it's already ranking for keywords. So in terms of the overall domain power, we are totally there. It's just the page level authority we need to get going. So I want to get this page indexed. I want to make sure it's easily accessible from the home page. You don't want any page on your site to be more than around 3 clicks from the home page. So for an ecom store, normally that's to go from the home page to the category page to the product. But in this case, it's not a massive store. I'm not going to have massive categories. So I think in this case, I'm just going to put links to my coffee products directly on the homepage. And then more of that link extra will pass from the homepage through to the individual products. Because what you generally find with most brands is naturally the homepage attracts the most backlinks, because when a website gets brand mentions, they'll typically link to the homepage. So for that reason, your homepage is your best asset. You want to use internal links to try and funnel down as much of that authority to your inner pages. On that note, if you want to try and get your ecom store ahead using both content and backlinks, then we provide both in the agency. We started off as a link building agency, but as you've seen in this video today, links don't really matter if your content isn't right. So we basically include content for free, and that's optimized with Surfer. Like I say, the vast majority of businesses I see are not using correlational tools. They might have text on the page, but it's not really going to be truly optimized as much as it could be. So we include that content optimization for free. Then we go out and secure high quality backlinks, high quality placements to your business. Not forgetting that many of these will be, like I said, kind of PR style mentions, where it looks like a journalist or a blogger has actually chosen to write about you, saying that your brand is the best solution for your industry, repeating that phrasing so that with AI outlines and any future generative search, if someone were to search for what is the best solution in this industry, then there's a good chance that that footprint we've built, all those guest posts and PR placements talking about how good your brand is, will influence that snippet. And to sweeten the deal, we include free consulting as well, because if after content and backlinks there's something else holding you back, then it is in our interest to help fix that for you. So we do get quite full. I think we do have some places available at the moment. So fill in an application there, and we'll get back to you if we think you're a fit. And you should still receive a pretty comprehensive audit of your website just for inquiring.